Likewise, the catch-22, they're caught and can't move, but know they have to and yet can't because they don't have the financial wherewithal to do it without actually selling the property. And the third, a little bit different, the Rosmondos they actually are elderly, they've had health issues, they really are caught with the fact that they had operated were operating another business, are now stuck with a double mortgage, but can't really operate this current facility, and consequently, likewise, a hardship. So this resolution would allow all three to be able to go ahead and be purchased. The three entities are very willing, and this is what they want, and so we're really being able to move it ahead of schedule by the nature of it. Now, there is one risk, and that is, of course, if we don't give approval to be able to move forward, we will have owned these three pieces of property and the costs that are associated with it. We think that's a very minor risk, and certainly well worth it to overcome the hardships that are imposed on these individuals. Urge your approval.
This is property we would have bought anyway, right? You're just moving the timetable up, Fred, is that the idea?
Absolutely. Yeah. But I do say the risk is if the project somehow falls apart, we have three pieces of property we wouldn't have bought otherwise. We think that's small, but the hardship we think is well outbalanced even that risk.
Okay. So a motion? Second. Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution is approved. We're going to have a public hearing and a public forum. First, for the public hearing, we have two ordinances. So we'll open a public hearing. I have no one who has indicated that they want to speak to either of these two ordinances. So we will move forward. Mr. Playfair, the first readings.
Ordinance number 310, an ordinance of the Tri-County Metropolitan Transportation District of Oregon, TriMet, increasing base fine amount, updating regulations governing conduct on district property, and amending TriMet Code Chapter 28, 29, and 30.
Mr. President, you don't have to take action on this, but I just want to give you a little bit of a background because we will have this action later, let you know. Beyond a number of housekeeping issues that are addressed, the main issue here is that it is changing the base fine amount that is the maximum amount that would be allowed for on our fines. Currently, it's at $115 for a violation of our code. The statutory limit is $250. That is, this is well below even halfway, the halfway point. And very frankly, for the deterrent factor that it needs to be able to provide, it's too low and really needs to be brought into more alignment with where other jurisdictions are. In this case, the issue is made a bit more ripe by the nature of a House bill, 2287, that established a surcharge on all fines that were assessed in this fashion, not just ours, but across the board, a part of the state action. As a result of that surcharge, we actually will, in fact, not even cover our administrative costs. This isn't meant to be a moneymaker. This is meant to be able to be an enforcement tool to get good compliance. But we wouldn't even recover our administrative costs if the raise didn't come. To us, the main reason is it needs to be able to be brought in line with other jurisdictions and to be able to be closer, not the highest level as we were proposing, only at 175, but higher than where it has been historically to be able to provide its proper deterrent factor. Again, no action taken today, but just so you have that background as you move to the second hearing.
Now, just a short comment.
Go ahead.
Yeah, just a short comment. I'm agreeing with you, Fred. But I want to see us stay with the corrective rather than punitive.
Absolutely.
Against and that still meets the guidelines. I'm comfortable.
Bob?
I noticed also it talks about wheel mobility.
Yes. I'd be happy to, I didn't address that only because it was kind of short on time. The definition we've had historically here has not necessarily covered some of the other types of things, particularly now the three-wheeled mobility device. We think it does need to be able to be captured, and this redefinition does that. So it's really meant to be more inclusive of the type of mobility devices that we're seeing on the system.
Okay, now, did the CAT committee had an opportunity to look at this
I thought they had, but I'm not recalling. Zoe, do you recall?
What?
Did the CAP committee look at this ordinance? Josh still around?
No.
Yeah.
I think because this is more inclusive, it would surprise me if there were any problem, but we will do a double check to be sure.
Please. Chew me up.
All right, Mr. Playfair.
Ordinance number 311, an ordinance of the Tri-County Metropolitan Transportation District of Oregon, TriMet, amending Chapter 14 of the TriMet Code to revise the definition of net earnings from self-employment.
I look forward to this one.
Just a very quick comment, this is,
And if any of you have a question, you can't be helped.
this is the first reading, but again, a quick question. All it does is bring into alignment, if there have been any changes at the federal level, it brings our code into alignment so that people don't have to deal with two sets of rules applying to these settings. It's really to be able to conform to what federal law changes are.
Okay, very good. All right, that concludes our public hearing.